Welcome back to your Aces franchise. If you missed last episode, we went through the rest of May and went through all of June, and now your Aces are at a 23-60 record, which is pretty bad, but we have a winning percentage of 277 and we're 29 games back, which not looking good, but you know, it's a rebuild, so it's gonna take some time. As well as we also followed some of our created prospects such as Burt Bubba and Drew Swift in the minor leagues. Going into today's episode, I want to finish out June and head into July and get to the All-Star game. So let's begin simming. That brings us to top of the 7th against Arizona, where the bases are loaded and the score's tied. So let's jump in as Eric Haas. That'll bring us to the top of the 7th. Eric Haas up. He already has a single and an RBI today. Let's see what he'll do. Eric Haas got an on base all 3 at bats. So he fouls that pitch off with a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. See what he'll do against Kyle Nelson. That pitch driven, going back on it, and it will be caught for the 3rd out of the 7th inning. See if we have another high importance situation to jump into. That will end the game for the Aces as they take the win with the 5-2 score. That brings us to the next game where Kyle Stowers has fractured his arm and will be out for 2 to 3 months. Let's go ahead and put him on the 60-day injured list, and let's go ahead and find someone to bring in for him. Looking at our minor leagues, I see Eli White hitting .298 with 6 home runs and 25 RBIs. He's got the fielding numbers, not the best hitting attributes, but I think with that speed and the fielding, he's definitely going to make a good addition to our team. So let's go ahead and bring him up. We continue simming as we jump into the top of the 6th with the bases loaded, 1 out against the Angels with Darren McClellan on the mound. See if Darren McClellan can get out of this. The 3-2 pitch. Slider outside. Let's see if Zach Neto will chase. And that's a ground ball. Second base to shortstop to first. And he will be out at first. What a double play to get us out of the inning. And that will be another win for your Aces as they win 5-3 against the Angels. So good job, Aces. That will bring us to the bottom of the 9th against Baltimore. Down by 1 man on, and Dom Smith up to the plate. See if we can win this game for the Aces. Dom Smith up, bottom 9, facing Felix Bautista, the hard-throwing righty. As he pops that pitch up, should be caught, foul territory, and caught by Ryan Mountcastle for the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up the prospect Henry Bolt, hitting .129 on the season. Not great, but looking to get this run in right now. The ground ball up the middle. See if Bolt can beat it out, and he will not, and the Orioles will win the game against the Aces. That brings us to the next game against the Orioles, where Nelson Velasquez has broken his foot. Man, we're getting hit by the injury bug here this season. Let's go ahead and look at our injured list. We have Jake McCarthy with torn finger ligament, Matthew Batten with a torn groin, Kyle Stowers with a fractured arm, Nelson Velasquez with a broken foot, and Austin Hendrick, one of our prospects, with a torn groin. So not great. That's not what we want to see, but hey, the injury bug comes and it goes. Let's go ahead and figure out who we're going to move into the lineup. I think this gives us a great opportunity to add Lawrence Butler as a right fielder, considering that he's not really hitting against righties, and he's got the power to do it in the contact, and he's having a decent season from the bench. So I think this is honestly a good move for us to bring him into the lineup, see what he can do, and he can prove himself whether he's going to be a starter moving forward, whether or not he's going to be a bench bat and potentially a lifelong AAA player. So let's go ahead and see how he does in his next game. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 2nd against the Orioles. Lawrence Butler up, 4-0 Orioles. Let's see if Butler can get on base and see if we can maybe get one back. The 0-0 pitch fouled off. That one popped up, and it should be caught by the 3rd baseman, and it's caught. That will be the 1st out in an 0-for-1 day, as that one's caught by Jackson Holiday. Check out Jackson Holiday right there. Good play. That'll bring up Lawrence Butler in the bottom of the 4th. Now a 5-0 game. Let's see if Butler can change this lead, or at least put a man on base to drive someone in. That one driven center field. Going back on it, Cedric Mullins going back, and he continues to go back as that ball is crushed. And that is a home run for Lawrence Butler, his 7th on the season. What a ball to crush straight dead center. Take that ball where it came from and put it over the fence. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 7th, where Lawrence Butler up again, a 1-for-2 day against Kyle Bradish, a 7-1 lead. See what he'll do. The 3-2 pitch from Kyle Bradish. And that ball's crushed to right field, but should be caught, and it will be caught by Anthony Santander, and that will be the first out of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Lawrence Butler in the bottom of the 9th for his last at bat. 7-1 game. Let's see if he can get some. Let's see if he can get on base and get something going. He'll be facing off against Colonial Perez. So that's a lefty. He's not great against lefties, but the only way he's going to get better is continuing to hit off them. And I think if he can learn to hit against lefties, that will be big for him, as he will continue to progress, as he's already very good against righties. He just needs to get the power and the contact against lefties, and then he could be a key piece in this rebuild, as he goes down in the upper right corner curveball. He's not happy about that one, but that will be a strikeout for Lawrence Butler. And that will end the game for the Aces as they lose 7-1 against the Orioles. Continuing to sim, that brings us to the bottom of the 10th against Boston. Mark Leiter Jr. on the mound, looking to get the hold and keep this game going for the Aces. Let's see what he'll do. That brings up Masataka Yoshida against Mark Leiter Jr. See what Masataka Yoshida will do. 1-2 pitch. Winning run on third. That one's taken for a ball. That one's driven left field. Under it is the left fielder, gathering and throwing. Let's see if he can get him at home. The throw is close, and he will not get him. And that is a very close play, although we can't take another look at that one, but I'm not sure that he was in there safely. But we'll take what the umpire says. We'll take what the ump says as the Red Sox pose for the picture. That brings us to the next game against Boston. Bottom 7, Aaron Kidd with the 6 1/3 innings pitched. 3 strikeouts, no earned runs. Let's see if he can keep this shutout going. Vaughn Grissom up. Let's see what he'll do. Aaron Kidd looking to get the out here. And that's a ground ball. And that's a line drive right to the third baseman, and will be caught by the third baseman. Aaron Kidd continues this. There's a line drive. Caught by the third baseman. Looking to keep the shutout alive. That one's driven right field. And this one should bring in a run, maybe 2. Butler will field and throw, and that will score 2 runs as the Red Sox take the lead. That brings up Rafael Devers against Aaron Kidd. Can the Kid do it? See if he can get out of this inning with only allowing 2 runs. That one's drilled into the stands. Might have hit a baby there. Not sure that Rafael cares. And liner to first base and caught by Dom Smith. That'll bring us to the top of the 9th against the Red Sox closer, Chris Martin. Lawrence Butler up 1-for-3 today. See if he gets the call. See if he can drive in this run on first base, or at least push him over. No outs in the inning. See what Butler will do. On deck is Dom Smith. See if we can get a walk or a hit right here from Lawrence Butler. And that will be a walk for Butler. So that brings up Dom Smith, the lefty. He's 0-for-3 today, looking to be 1-for-4. He's got the right field pulled in. See if Dom Smith can drive in a run at second. Chris Martin hasn't allowed a run this season. See if Dom Smith can change that. The 1-2 pitch. And Dom Smith will strike out swinging. Just early on that. That brings up Gabriel Arias. Not having a great season, but this is a way he can turn it around right here. Give the Aces a win. Or at least tie the game. That one's drilled and will be caught for the second out of the inning. Almost dropped for a hit, but Gabriel Arias unlucky there. as Masataka Yoshida picks that up for the catch. And that will bring up Ryan Connors, the created player. See what he'll do. If he can win this game for the Aces or drive in a run to tie it. Let's see what will happen. The 1-2 pitch. Taken for strike, and that will be strike 3. As Ryan Connors goes down looking, and the Red Sox will win. That brings us to the top of the 9th. Chris Martin on the mound again, with Lawrence Butler up, 2 men on, down by 2. Let's see if Butler can drive these 2 runs in and give us the lead, or at least tie the game. It's very well away. See what he'll do against Chris Martin. He's got the advantage being a lefty at Fenway. See what Butler will do. One-two pitch from Chris Martin. Driven, left center, going back, and that will drop. And this should tie the game for the Aces as Lawrence Butler heads to second. Great hit from Lawrence Butler right there to drive in 2 runs and tie the game, his 7th of the season. That was a great job to drive that opposite field and drive in those runs. That will bring in Brennan Bernardino. See if Eddie Rosario can take away that last name and add his own. 0-for-3 no longer as he drives that one to right. And that will be a hit through the second hole. As that brings 2 men on base, 1 on third and 1 on first. For your 4 hole, Ryan Connors. Ryan Connors looking to drive in a run. Give us the lead heading into the bottom of the 9th. See what Connors can do. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that will end the 9th inning. Let's see if there's another simulated moment to jump into. That brings us to the bottom of the 10th. The Aces up 7-6, but a man on first. Masataka Yoshida up. Zach Pop on the mound. Let's see if he can get the save. The 0-2 pitch. That's to first base. It should be flipped for the first out as the runner heads to second. No double play there, but we get the out. But the tying run is now on second. See Roman Anthony up. Let's see what Zach Pop will do. 2-2 pitch, broken bat. Third baseman will run, field, and throw, but he will be safe at first. And the runner advances to third as that's a base hit. Looking for a double play here. Tyler McDonough up to hit against Zach Pop as he bunts for a hit that should be thrown to second. See if they can get him at first, and they won't. And that will be a tie game as Zach Pop blows the save. Aces looking to head into the top of the 11th as that's the 3rd out of the inning. Let's see what they'll do. And that will be the end of the game as Devers hits a RBI walk-off single. And after that game, the injury bug strikes again as Eli White has broken his shin and will be out for 2 to 3 months. Let's go ahead and see who we're going to move up this time. We're going to move back up Victor Robles to the MLB, hoping that he can be decent or at least give us some depth considering our entire outfield is now injured. Before we head into the All-Star game, I want to go look at the voting. So let's see if we can find our players. After looking at the voting, our highest voted player is Eric Haas with 150,000 votes. Not a good look for the Aces considering we're not doing great this season, but you still want to at least have one player who's an All-Star. So let's see if Eric Haas will make the All-Star game. That brings us into the All-Star game in Texas. Let's see who our All-Star is. And your Aces All-Star will be Dominic Smith, hitting 240, 9 home runs, 27 RBIs, a 312 on base, a 369 slugging, and a 680 OPS. Not the best All-Star, but hey, he gets it done. So let's go ahead and see when Dom Smith will jump into the game. That brings us to the bottom of the 8th. Dom Smith is up against Edwin Diaz. The American League up 9-1 against the NL. See if Dom Smith can add on to this lead or can put himself in consideration for All-Star Game MVP. That one driven to right field. Under it, the right fielder, and caught. And that will be Dominic Smith's first at bat. See if he'll get another one in this game. The AL will beat the NL in the 2024 All-Star game. Not great for our All-Star considering he went 0 for 1 with the flyout, but proud of Dom Smith for getting there. So good job, Dom. That'll bring us to the 19th of July, and that will end this episode as we have finished the All-Star game. And I want to say thank you guys for all the views and all the new subscribers. So if you guys are new here, go ahead and comment down below a player name and a position, and I will go ahead and add you to our prospect and our farm system. If you want to see yourself being able to play in this Aces franchise, go ahead and do that. And as well, I want to say if you guys want to join the Discord and get notified when I post a new video, I'll put that down in the description below. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.